Hi, today we're going to discuss how we heal. So, generally, due to the medical model that we have all grown up in, we feel like we should be able to just take a pill, change our diet, and get better. Expectations of society are that we take a pill for a headache, or we get some form of surgery, or we get some other kind of treatment, and we are back up and running in a couple of weeks. We're back working, we're doing all the things. Society does not have much space or capacity to allow people time to heal. We also have that expectation from others that we should just get back on the horse. And we've grown up being given some antibiotics or given a painkiller and feel better within a few days. When we get to chronic illness and we've been ill for a while, this kind of approach doesn't work. However, we still often have the expectation that this is how we will get better. In the past, before antibiotics and medications, we used to have something called convalescence. People would go to a sanatorium, somewhere quiet in nature by the sea, and they would take time to heal. They would rest, rejuvenate, and take the time they needed. So now we look at how we really get well. And the real way that we get well is in stages. It takes time, effort, and persistence. We're no longer in the position that we can just take a pill and get better. When we have a chronic illness, layers of healing happen. We will find that we will improve at first with treatment. We might feel great. You might be the kind of person who's had this happen in the past and you feel fantastic. Then at this point, maybe you've stopped taking some of the stuff, stopped doing some of the treatment plan, and things fall back. Or maybe you've done everything right and it's still, you end up in a dip. You end up feeling a bit rubbish. A lot of people give up at this stage, either when they first start feeling great or when they feel rubbish. It's not working, they say. If you understand that healing comes in stages, you get back on the horse and you keep going. And you find you feel even better than you did a few weeks ago. You might have little dips and then feel better. You might plateau, have a little dip, and then feel amazing. And if you keep going with the persistence to following your treatment plan, you finish off feeling great. How long this takes varies from person to person. But if you keep going and you are persistent and consistent in your action, you can reach the finish line. How healing feels is not a nice straight line from start to finish. How it feels is like a big, fat, squishy mess of good days, bad days, and others. You end up in what feels like a mass of stuff half of the time. But as you work your way up, you pop out the other side. Another thing to understand about healing is when we are healing from a chronic illness, we're healing our nervous system as well as our body. Our Our nervous system is always trying to reach balance. Our body is aiming to reach homeostasis, which is a perfect balance in every cell, in every organ of our body. When our body is healing, it can be like a pendulum. We can have symptoms, emotions, and other things happen that can vary widely between one side and the other within a day, within an hour, within minutes, or within weeks or months. We can have days where we feel down. We can have days where we feel happy for no reason at all. We can have days where we have symptoms and days where we don't. Understanding the pendulum is one of the keys to understanding why these things happen and why healing is not a straight line. As our body aims to reach homeostasis, it will often focus on healing one area of our body, but another area pops up with a symptom. And then our body goes to correct that, and another area will pop up with a symptom. It's part of the way our body heals. Also, for a lot of people, if they're dealing with certain issues that also involve fatigue or brain fog, it can also be part of a boom bust in healing. If you're an all or nothing kind of person, on a good day, you'll try and do everything, which might well mean that the next day there are more symptoms because we've pushed that pendulum too far to the side and it flicks back. Also, sometimes we jump into things quickly and then we get bored, we give up, or we try to do too much at once. Sometimes we feel a little bit better and then we slip off course thinking, I'm fixed. Often, actually, none of these things are true. We're not fixed, we're not better, and we are not a failure. We just need to keep going. Implementing small steps that you can easily adapt to your lifestyle is the key to getting great results. Finding out ways to change your lifestyle in a way that works for you and leads you closer and closer to healing is how you do it. Instead of trying to force yourself into boxes, trying to do too much at once and giving up. Patience is also key. Our nervous system loves gradual change. It's not really a fan of overnight change, overnight healing. Our body is trying to reach homeostasis. If something changes really suddenly, it will actually swing that pendulum, trying to figure out what's going on and what it needs to fix. It's actually really good to go slowly and gradually with your healing. Slow, gradual healing is permanent healing. Overnight healing, same as overnight success, is usually only temporary. So now think about your action steps. Get a journal and write down, what are your expectations around healing? What is your willingness to stick with your treatment plan? What ability do you have to deal with the ups and downs of healing? Do you understand that those ups and the downs are temporary? Because every moment of every day, our brains and bodies are changing. Think about how you approached your healing journey in the past. What has worked for you? What didn't? What helps you get back on track? And some tips that work for some people to get them back on track that might give you some ideas. Track the wins, not the symptoms. A lot of people get stuck into journaling all of their symptoms, what they've eaten in great detail, what symptoms they feel in great detail. In my experience, this is not helpful for healing. Instead of tracking symptoms, track the improvements. Track everything, however small. Whether it's I've driven for an extra half an hour and I don't have any symptoms, or I've eaten this thing and I only had half the symptoms that I had last time I tried it, or I've been able to go to a work presentation, or I've been able to go to a party, I've been able to talk with people and deal with things and feel good. They can be small things. It can be as simple as having had a good sleep last night. Another tip to stay on track is to start a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for every day. Writing down 3 things you're grateful for helps you focus on the positives. It helps you focus on those wins. It helps you focus on what you're doing for your healing. You can be grateful for the food you eat, however limited it may be. Grateful for a roof over your head. It might be as simple as being grateful for your bed if you're having a bad day. But gratitude is a wonderful way to help you stay on track. So write down any other things you can think of that help you stay on track. And this is an excerpt from the 6-month program. It's just a little taste of how we approach our healing and why the program is 6 months. We need 6 months of regular neuroplasticity training to make changes to our brain. We also need 6 months of gut healing to get good results. Healing a leaky gut usually takes between 3 to 6, 9 months for most people, depending on the level of damage. Getting your gut microbiome up and running can take a minimum of 6 months, sometimes a bit longer. So 6 months is the sweet spot to get you feeling great. There are more details down below. You can book a discovery call and have a chat with me about the details of what you get in the program with one-on-one support, clinic hours, platforms for questions, and little videos like this to help you stay on track. Thanks.